All right, we're live. Perfect.
All right.
Right at midnight. Hey, Suji, how are you? Three likes. What's up, Dis? What's up, Joe? How are you? Hey, Pam. Simone, how are you? Silver Fox. What's up, Troy? How's everyone's evening going? No cat bussing. How's it going? Ben Dean, what's going on? RH, Kathy, Jim, Kelly Lewis. Karen, how are you? Ral Ordo, how are you doing? Sharon Williams. Pickle Rick, what's going on? Scott Ray. Damian Bloodstone. Homemade chocolate ice cream. I'm not a big fan of chocolate, but homemade ice cream sounds good. What's up, Gravity? Every time I see Gravity Cheeseburger's name, I think of Gravity Falls. Which was this amazing cartoon that my kids used to watch that had like little emphasis on the Illuminati and everything. It was pretty cool. What's up, Adam Hernandez, Vicky Parker, Sandy? IE Native. Tesla. Dogman UK Man. Tigger's in the house with me right now. He's crashed out on the floor. You want me to get the cat so you guys can say hi to the mascot real quick? Hang on 1 second. Come here, buddy. Hey, yo, buddy. Come here. Oh, buddy. Look at everybody. Say hi to everybody. Say hi, everybody. Yeah. Look at him. Oh, you good boy, huh? All right, get down, fatty. What's up, Rafe Beaver? He is my best friend, Simone. My best friend in the whole wide world. Pretty close to the size of a bobcat, IE Native. Actually, pretty close. His paws are huge. You should see his murder mittens. They're friggin' enormous. What's up, Jane? How are you? Nez Lover. I got your email, Nez Lover, earlier today. Caroline Skidmore, hello. Absolutely right, Josh. Absolutely right, my brother. Thank you, Kelly. Well, my buddy, he told me that, I've been friends with him for a long time, and he is from Washington. He's Salish, Native American 100%. And he's the editor for Darkness Prevails, which is just this gigantic channel, which covers like cryptids and other stories that are true. He doesn't do creepypastas. He does like scary Reddit stories and stuff like that. But hey, Mr. Hollywood, how are you? What's up, Chris Chung? But he was like, Jeff, you gotta up the ante on it. Give your subs the best that you can give them. And so I was like, you're absolutely right, brother. You're absolutely right. Robert Sharp got the COVID, brother. Ooh, that's no good. Jane is a legend. Jane's a legend. The myth, The myth, the woman, the legend. Jane Lindley. I have some really good encounters lined up for us this evening. Hey, Lori, how are you? Hey, Keith Johnson from Potter County. Aramic, how are you? No cap, right? No cap Bussin sent me these photos, and he really thought they were a UFO. And actually, the first time I had ever seen them, I thought they were a UFO too. But then I realized that it's the Starlink, Elon Musk's Starlink. But really cool, a great photo that he took. I'm working on it, Bart. I was in a really bad spot for a while, so things take a back burner. Aramic, you don't agree with his AI? He's anti AI. Elon Musk is anti AI. So I mean, there's not much to not like about him. I know that the Neuralink you might mean. I know I've noticed that, Jane. I noticed that you weren't in the comment sections for a little bit. Neither was Monty. Monty had, the Neuralink. Monty had a heart attack. Hopefully we'll see him in this live stream tonight. I don't trust AI either. My dad is going to have surgery next month, September. I think September. I believe the 6th, which hopefully will be the last one. Oh my God. Did you know that? Check this out. So my dad has, I'm imagining the majority of people have neuropathy. I have it really bad. My dad has it, and a lot of people have it. But there is a cream that it's a compound. It's not a cream, and only a select couple pharmacies will create the compound, and the big pharma doesn't want anyone to know about it. So my dad's new doctor ended up prescribing it to him, and it took almost a week for me and my mom to get it together, to get it sent, to have it sent to this pharmacy, because it's got to go from one pharmacy to another, and then they make the compound, and then you've got to go down and you've got to pay cash for it because insurance won't cover it. There's some kind of clause. I'm not really sure what it's called, John W. It's a prescription, but apothecaries make it. And what it does, instead of like gabapentin or Lyrica, how you take a pill and it just scatters throughout your body, this you put on the area where is affected, and it Ben, I'm so sorry for your loss, brother. I'm so sorry for your loss. Damn it. This cream kind of soaks into the location where it's needed. So if anyone has neuropathy, ask about this compound. It's a neuropathic, whatever, compound of medication. It's hard to get because Big Pharma doesn't want people to know about it. It's bullshit. Ben, I'm really sorry about your pops. God. What do you think about the fires in Hawaii? It's tragic. That's what I think. I knew something bad was going to happen. There's a YouTube channel that does a 24-hour feed of volcano eruptions. And when Hawaii was having its volcano eruptions, I was like, this is very bad. And I don't think that it's being handled properly at all. Let me open the window for a minute here. How do you like the new? I got the new Ultimate Hide and Seek Champion. New addition to the studio wall. Jody Bateman, how are you? I'm not sure what the name of the cream is. I will, when I do know exactly what it's called, I will let you guys know. I'll put it in the community post so you guys can check it out if you want. Shane Kadar, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Actually, Jody, I'll email you. Yeah, no, Nez, it's actually like tin. It's not like punched tin, but it's tin. It's pretty cool. Karen, I'm going to do something about that tomorrow, not in the live stream though, okay? Because things like that can't be put in the live stream per YouTube guidelines. So I'll take care of that tomorrow. What's up, Russell? How are you? Yeah, neuropathy is terrible. Decompression surgery works, but not great. Jody, man, that's crazy. I'm so sorry. I'll pray for your mom. My legs look like they're like a 70-year-old man's leg, like from neuropathy. It's so weird. Hey, Tyler, how are you? I missed you guys so much, man. I was looking forward to this live stream all week. I swear. Thanks, Lori. The one downstairs is bigger, but I gotta figure out on how to make it less echoey down there. Daniel, that's crazy because Robert just said he has it too, and that's insane. I pray for your recovery, my friend. You know, I don't wear socks either, RC. I hate socks, and I think that it really helps because there's no restriction. You know what I mean? And I try to wear like loose shoes, like loose fitting shoes, I guess. What's up, Will? How are you? Sandhoff, good evening. How are you? Glades Creature. Any new Dogman encounter descriptions? I don't know what you mean by descriptions, but there's always a new Dogman encounter. Hey, Nathan, how are you? Thank you very much. I got some encounters lined up for us. Actually, I have a ton of really good. It probably won't look like much here, but it's actually a stack of encounters to share with y'all tonight. Aramek, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's actually nice and cool in upstate New York. It's 59 degrees right now, so it's not even hot. I was actually wearing a flannel shirt today. Beautiful. Like fall is here in upstate. So I got a couple things to do in the beginning of the week, but then I'm hoping I'm still in a loaner car because my Forester's computer went kaput in it the other 10 days ago. And so I can't drive it down the fire road to where Tom Mezek disappeared. And so I'm hoping to get out there really soon. $90 degrees, 100 degrees. No, thank you. I am just perfect in 59-degree weather. Hot and muggy in South Carolina. Glades Creature, I'd love to hear it. I don't. I talked about this last in an upload. I don't buy into the variant thing, because like there's a person who created this list: variant type A, variant B, and Donna Jarvie, thank you so much. And I don't buy into that because if that was the case, wouldn't we have to do that for human beings? I just think that if they have a tail, it would be considered a dog man, no matter if it had a hyena-like face, a wolf-like face. If it has no tail, then we're going to call it a werewolf. And then Bigfoot, obviously. But I'd love to hear your encounter, Glade. If you want to email me, I'd love to. Sure. Thank you, Bigfoot Society. I truly appreciate that. Thanks, Jane. I don't want to jinx it. All right, here's something cool. All right, and I'm probably gonna jinx it because every time I say I'm gonna have Victor on, I jinx it. But I talked to Victor. I was mowing my lawn Thursday night, and I got a call from Victor. I quickly texted him, Joe Michaela, oh my God, thank you so much. Please send them to me. Please, you know that. Thank you so much. Holy shit. So really quick, Victor calls me. I'm like, hey, I'm mowing my lawn. My lawn's like 6 inches long. I'm going to get a fine. I got to chop the field down. So I'm like, I'll call you ASAP. So I call Victor a little later on and we talk for a little bit. And he's got a couple of encounters typed out. And I was supposed to do an interview with him Friday night, but he was sick, didn't really feel great. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to do something tomorrow night. And I really freaking hope so because I really love talking to him. Like, I just, all right, Bigfoot Society asked who Victor was. In Philadelphia, I didn't know what it was. Whoa, right in Philadelphia, Raheem? God dang. All right, really quick. I'm not ignoring anybody. It didn't have backwards legs, like all shaped like a person. Did it have a tail, Glade? So anyway, really quick, who Victor is. And this is Bigfoot Society. If you don't believe this, that's your choice. But Victor is legitimate and he is real because I have two emails from CIA.gov, and he worked for the government, and I say worked because he doesn't anymore, and he hunted dogmen and Bigfoot and werewolves, which a werewolf is a very similar to a dogman and very similar to a Sasquatch. It's got a small muzzle, human-shaped legs, but no tail. And there's a lot of uploads and a lot of videos with him sharing experiences. Yeah, Bigfoot Society, they're great uploads. He's an amazing person, to be honest with you, but he is done hunting. And to be honest with you, it was just good talking to him. California, what's going on? Man, every time I see Gravity, like Aramik just said, love you, Gravity. I really think, do you guys know the show Gravity Falls? Do any of you guys remember that? Like, if you have kids, he's hopefully going to come up to upstate New York in September. In upstate New York, we have a balloon festival in September, and we have a Bigfoot. Convention, not convention. Like the town shuts down. Whitehall, New York shuts down for a day, and there's a whole bunch. And Whitehall is like a spit away from my house. I can spit there, it's like, so I'm going to go there with Victor, have him come up. That's infringement, Roger. That's infringement. I'm just kidding, brother. What's up, Randall Kennedy? How are you? Hey, Joe. Oh, I already said hi to you. I don't know why I said hi. I thought you were saying hi. You were saying hi, Dogman UK man. How are you, Dogman? Glades, if you'd be interested in sharing that with me, I'd love to see it. Spirit level 333, you're at 100% right. You live in a hillbilly town when they ride dirt bikes down the middle of your street at midnight. It didn't have a tail, so it might have been a werewolf. Raheem, when was that? Because in 2021, there was actually a hunt that went down in there. I think Rick and Morty was. Everyone rides golf carts. That's awesome. In 2005. Okay. Look like a Fraggle. Holy cow, I have not heard that. Fraggle Rock was great. All right, so when and where the next Crypticon? George, I don't go to Crypticons because I think they're a bunch of bullcrap. First, they charge an assload to go there and to get in there. And second, you're hearing information from bozos, if you ask me, it's not for me. If I was going to do a convention, I would want to do one like in the middle of the country, like somewhere in the middle of the country where everyone could meet, and I would rent like a town hall or a Knights of Columbus thing or something like that, and charge just as much as it cost, like $5 a head, and have the vendors be like, don't overcharge this and that. And, if people showed up to talk, then they showed up to talk. I I don't think at these conventions it shouldn't be about making money. It should be about like touching base with you guys, and getting like interviewing people like right on the spot. Like, hey, Tulsa, Oklahoma would be nice. That's a little far off from the middle of the country though. Aramek, thank you so much. I definitely will, my friend. My depression is gone, I'll tell you that. I'm fucking out of that. I don't know why. Um Honestly, I was so down on myself. It's nothing I could take care of. I do have Adri Van. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I do have some African Dogman encounters on this channel. Look for worldwide Dogman encounters on my channel, and you'll be able to find them. What's up, Caden? How are you? Shell Ashley, I'd love to hear that. Could you type that out for me and send that to me? I'd love to read that on the channel. What's up, Clutch? How are you? Dogman Fight Club would be pretty awesome. We could put Brad shit in the middle of it. I bet you it's hot in Florida. It's hot in Florida in the winter. I remember we lived in Florida for like my ex-wife and my two daughters. My daughters were babies at the time. Like they just like we lived in Florida for like maybe 5 months because I fucking hated living there. And nothing against Florida. Nothing against Florida. I'm from upstate New York. I'm from the Adirondacks. And so my ex-wife convinced me to move to Palm Coast, which is just outside of Jacksonville, in between Jacksonville and Daytona. And I was like, oh God, we get there. I get there. I drove the U-Haul truck all the way down. And I got out of the freaking truck and it was like 8 o'clock, sweltering hot. It was nice and cool. Where Clutch, so you're from Jacksonville, so you know right where Palm Coast is. So I get out of the freaking truck and I'm like, what is going on? It's so goddamn hot here. Anyway, my ex-wife's mom, her husband sold cars. He worked for like Auto Traders. So he got me a job as an internet sales manager at a dealership there, a Dodge dealership. But it just sucked because there was no mountains. It was flat, arid. I had wild hog running through my backyard. The only cool thing was my kids. They just wore bathing suits all the time and ran around the backyard and played in there. Like my ex-wife set up like this inflatable fun park for him with like water everywhere. That was the only way they survived. Absolutely, Jeff. Absolutely, brother. Todd, how are you? Duvall. I don't know what you mean by that, Clutch, but I was in Palm Coast. I was in the B section, if that means anything. I don't know what that. What's up, Cowboy Five Rings? Kissing me. Kissing me. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, definitely don't go swimming in fresh water. There was a pond behind the dealership that I worked in, and there was a gator in there. Ben, I heard that wild hog wasn't as fatty as regular pig, and you couldn't make bacon out of it. Is that true? Brian, I agree. I would love to check Alaska out before I moved there, though. Glade, that's exactly how I felt about when I had my experience. It felt otherworldly, to be honest with you. Thank you, Clutch. I feel better. I really do. I just feel healthier. Wild boar is delicious. I've been watching every time I've watched Yellowstone, the entire thing, the season 1 through 5, probably 3 times. And every time I watch that goddamn show, I want to move to Montana and I want a horse. And like I watched it this week and I was like, I need to move to Montana. Thank you, MS. Love Yellowstone. Yellowstone is great. So let's start this evening off with a bang. How about that? You're absolutely right, Rose. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. I've got an otherworldly experience right now to share with y'all right now. Here we go. Let me get a sip of my mellow yellow, though. Buddy, what are you doing? All right. I had this encounter about a year ago, but I started thinking about it quite a bit recently. I also wanted to add that while I don't fully dismiss the paranormal, I don't really believe in ghosts, cryptids, and such. This encounter really didn't change my mind about that, though. I decided to go on a solo hike for about 2 weeks. This would have been my second time doing such. The first 2 days of the hike were very average and relaxing. Just a simple hike, but at night things got a little weird. I went to sleep at around 21 to 2200, and nothing much happened until about 2 in the morning. I remember smelling a faint stench of rotting meat. It wasn't really anything too crazy, but it was weird enough to somewhat wake me up. I tried ignoring it and going back to sleep, but then I started to notice that something was moving around my tent. I did think that because of the smell and the sounds that it could be some carnivorous animal, that maybe the stank of rotting meat for whatever reason. But since I was still half asleep, I wanted to make sure that it was not a bear or something, so I opened my eyes to check around. Now, just to note that during the night, the moon was quite bright, so it was possible to see quite well outside. So, when I opened my eyes, I could see a vague, lanky humanoid shadow outside of my tent. I didn't feel like I was in danger or anything. I did have my sidearm with me, so even if it was some creep, I really didn't feel threatened while holding my gun. After about a minute, this thing left, as well as the smell. But since it was a very creepy encounter, I stayed awake for about another hour to see if anything else happened. Nothing did. The next day, I had a weird feeling of being watched by something dangerous. But I didn't know if it was because I was confident in my ability to protect myself or whatever. I didn't feel like I was in danger at all. I just felt creeped out. I didn't really enjoy that day all that much, to be fully honest, and because of that, I set camp up a lot faster than I normally did. I didn't go to bed at my normal time since I didn't want someone or something sneaking up on me again. At around 1 in the morning, I could smell that weird stench again, so I gripped my gun a little bit tighter and tried to find out what it was, but instead all I saw was a pair of yellowish eyes in the distance. I stared at them for about 5 minutes, and then they just vanished together with the stench. I didn't feel like I was being watched anymore during that night, so after an hour, I decided to go to bed. The next day, the feeling of being watched was back, but again, I didn't feel as though I was in danger. I decided that even though I felt that way, I would still rather cut this trip short instead of actually getting into a situation where I'm in danger. So I started making my way back, through a more roundabout path. Nothing really happened that night. The next day, suddenly, I could smell the rotten stench in the day. It wasn't any stronger than before, but since I was in a decently large clearing at the time and didn't see anyone or anything around, I panicked a little bit and started walking at a faster pace. I'm not exactly sure how long I walked after that, but around midday, the stench got stronger. Now, I think that it's important to note that I don't have the best vision and I need to wear glasses, but I don't most of the time. So when I looked around, all I saw was a gray humanoid figure quite far away to my left. I did panic, but by the time I had put my glasses on, it was gone. After that, I really didn't feel like staying in that area much longer, so I started doing a slow run to get out of there a little faster. I had ran quite a distance while feeling like something was following me, but then I ran into a strangely peaceful clearing where both the stench and the feeling of being watched had stopped. It was relatively small clearing with a few small boulders around, but the strange thing was that a man who was in his late 40s, maybe early 50s, was sitting on one of the boulders. He was wearing very plain dad clothes, definitely not something you would be wearing while hiking in the middle of nowhere. Plus, he had no gear near him. But the thing that I had noticed first about the guy was his strangely bright green eyes. They weren't bright in a literal sense, but more like a brightness you would see in a child's eyes. After running for so long, I was exhausted, and the man noticed that and told me to sit down on one of the boulders and take a rest. I didn't even think about it and sat down. We talked for a while, mostly about hiking and nature, and while talking, he had this very friendly smile that made me feel at ease. When I had rested, he offered to help me build my campsite in the clearing. He was very good at starting a fire. He shared a cup of tea, and he told me that it was very nice talking to me, but he had to go. He didn't really say why or where he had to go, but he just stood up and left. That night, I didn't hear any noises or any birds or crickets. When I woke up the next day, I felt refreshed. I packed up and started to continue along the trail. I didn't feel like I was being watched or I couldn't smell that stench anymore the rest of the hike. This was the very first time that I've ever shared this experience in such detail. I usually say that some animal or whatever was following me, since the way people would actually act or not believe me, but I decided to actually write it the way it went down. So, you know what that reminded me of is Brad's angel experience. Tom, how are you? So I don't know if you guys remember who Brad is, but Brad had the angel experience that rescued him. Well, this guy is hiking in the middle of nowhere, right? And he sees what I would say would be a crawler and gets out of there as quick as possible, and then finds this guy sitting on a boulder in the middle of nowhere with these like childlike green eyes, which I'm getting like innocence, you know what I mean? So I think that would be a guardian angel. What do you guys think? I just said hi to Monty. Thank you, Kathy. Angel, yeah, exactly, Daniel. That's what I was thinking, like an angel. That's why I was like, ooh, I gotta share this one. No worries, Kathy. You don't need to apologize. I emailed him because I knew, that's why in the beginning I said that he had a heart attack. What's up, Scott Baker? How are you? May have been Jesus that visited. May have. But would Jesus wear like dad clothes? Maybe. Maybe. Stephen Jacob, how are you? What's up, Dale? Dale, I got your emails. I was gonna email you today, but I got caught up with recording. I apologize, but I knew I'd see you tonight, so I knew that I'd be able to talk to you. So sorry, brother. I will be in touch very quickly or very soon. Thank you, Rose. God bless you. What's up, Freddie? Jeb Smith from Alaska. Jeb, we were just talking about Alaska and saying how good of a place it would be to live. It seemed right out of Dungeons and Dragons. No kidding. Dang. See? Do you see the guy? What's he doing? I'm fucking telling you, there's creatures in my town. Creatures. Hey, Giant Slayer, how are you? What's up, Ginger? The best place. Nice. If you don't mind me asking, where in Alaska do you live? Bigfoot Society? No, I haven't. I have not. John W., I would never get mad about someone emailing me. I don't mind emails. I don't know him. I know his story, and I've looked into some things that kind of rub me the wrong way. There's, in my eyes, there's too many people that, I don't know. I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, I know the story. I've had just as strange as stories on the channel, and interviewed just as credible folks as well. But nah, I know of him. I just can't say that too much because last time I said I didn't buy into somebody's experience, they made a huge post saying that I wasn't Jeff Nadolny, I didn't live in New York, I'm a criminal, and apparently I am a bad person. Dale, that's a good idea, brother. That's a very good idea. Any little person stories from the size of your hands? Actually, Daniel, I had one set for tonight. I promise I'll have it for next week. All right, brother. I didn't. Kelly, you're absolutely right. It was criminal. I should have. There's so much I could have done, but I just figured I'd leave it at that. And that's why I made that video. And I said, I had went and saw my friend, the freaking chief of police, and Chief Gifford in South Guns Falls Police Department, and yada yada. Tim Pro, no, nothing from him as of yet. Actually, I haven't heard from him at all, and I probably won't, to be honest with you, because his friends are dead. He's out of the picture, and he's in hiding right now. You know what I mean? So I don't think I would. I'd like to know that he's okay, Howard Parker, that's not the video. That's my favorite. Is not Scott Carpenter's. It's Kirk Stokes. It looks similar to Scott's, but it's not. And Scott, yeah, we talked about Scott 2 weeks ago when he passed away tragically from a brain aneurysm. But that wasn't his video. Fun boy, here's something crazy. That van that followed me, and then I pulled over and got behind it and followed them, and my daughter took the picture of the license plate. I had posted that on my Instagram today, and there was a person just got really bent out of shape about it and was like, da 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 da. Yeah, it does look similar, but it's not. I know Kirk Stokes. I've had him on the show, and he's shared other videos. Kirk and Scott Carpenter know each other. They've worked together, so it's not. I mean, they've been doing this for probably. I've been researching for 20-something years, so they've been researching for like 30. But yeah, it's not the same video at all. Yeah, exactly. The one peeking out of the tree. Where Kirk's is in a tree, it's behind the tree. It's breathing at you. You can see it breathing. Randy, you going to bed? Randy Man always comes to the show and says, I'm going to bed, guys. Good night. God bless you, brother. Andy Davis, how are you? Kurt Stokes' video is truly amazing. Truly amazing. And so Scott Carpenter's video, the one that when he had the backpack camera that he caught behind him, that's a very credible video as well. Very credible. Hey Tracy, how are you? Yeah, Kirk's videos are great. A Dogman puppy ever found? A couple. Last 2 years ago. You know what's crazy is like with all the new people coming into the channel, there is so much that happened in the year of 2021 and 2022. Well, actually 2020 and 2021. Because in Pennsylvania, there was a Dogman puppy. I believe it was a Dogman puppy that was caught, captured, and then put in a wildlife animal hospital. And it was ripped out of the building by something. And they said it ripped itself out of the building. And this thing was like malnourished. It was, you remember that, Kelly? Yeah. Digging at the graves. That's not, no cap. That's not a dog man. That's a lady. That's a woman digging in the cemetery. And yeah, I've seen the video. If you, I don't know who shared it, but they took the yeah, there were pictures. There were pictures on the internet. Seriously, back to no cap. The video, they took the audio out. And you hear the two girls pulling into the cemetery, and they say, "What is she doing? What is she doing?" And they're ripping out, she's digging in the grave and stuff. It's crazy. Hey, baby girl, how are you? Liz, your sister is in my prayers, 100%. Nothing new on the Michigan man, guys. Nothing new. Okay, buddy. I was sharing his experiences and stuff, and the Michigan guy. So I was sharing his stuff, and he hit me with a copyright strike because I was sharing his videos and telling his story because of TikTok. It was just a complete shit show. So I kind of stopped talking about him. Where can I find these videos? Daniel, if you go into my page, my channel's page, and you click video, and you'd scroll probably to 2020, 2021, and it's all in there. That's when I really started to, 2020 was when I started to really bust out the animal attack videos where I had people from where Corey Godsey lived. There was just so many animal attacks in 2020, 2021, 2019. And now the channels are covering them like they're new, and it's crazy because I had covered them years before, and it's just nuts. Love you, baby girl. I'll see you later tonight. I'll make you dinner after, and we'll play cards. Rose Holt. They are real, and Robert Sharp is in the comment section right now, so he's here with us. What's up, Christopher? How are you? Sorry, everyone. What's the origin of Dogman? Your guess is as good as mine, to be honest with you. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know what the origin is. I know that some people think that, please wish me well for this Friday of having a second knee surgery replacement. Donna, you are in my prayers on Friday. Gosh. Friday, Donna, everyone pray for Donna. She's having a knee replacement surgery. That's scary. Not as of late, but I have a couple, Robert. Speaking of Robert Sharp, there he is right there. Okay. Jeff, do you think Anubis was a dogman or a werewolf? Werewolf. Just my perception. I think it was a werewolf. I could be wrong. Fucking creatures, man. I haven't talked to Brad in a very long time, to be honest with you. Dogman with rabies. I imagine they can get rabies. JD Detailing, how are you? Thank you. I'm Tim's pro son. Awesome. I love your dad's channel too. Mr. Rollins. All right, so next experience. Yeah, any of the big three having rabies would just suck ass, man. That would not be fun. Can you imagine there's a fucking dog man with rabies chasing you? First of all, they're scary as shit anyway. Then you're going to have one chasing you with rabies? No, thank you. What's up, Craig? How are you? John, how are you this evening? Hang on. Tigger's scratching at the door. I got to let him out. 1 second. Yes, I do believe so, Joy. Yes, I did, Steele. I emailed you back, brother. All right, here we go. What's your thoughts on Dogman that are seen that are dilapidated? I'm not really sure what you mean, dilapidated. Like dead? All right, here we go. I spent 10 years of my youth homeless, drifting across Canada, hitchhiking, and riding freight trains across every province. I never knew where I wanted to call home, so I just traveled to this beautiful country to see which places I liked best. I have many years of experience with trapping, wilderness survival, so being stranded in places has never been an issue for me. This particular event happened the summer of 2013. I was hitchhiking out of Williams Lake, British Columbia, but it was getting late, and I was having a hard time getting picked up on a smaller shoulder at the edge of town until one man pulled over and said, "I can't drive you far, but there's a roadside rest stop a few kilometers down the highway, and I think you'd have better luck." I agreed. The man drove me to the rest stop from there. I pulled out my cardboard sign that said East in bold black Sharpie. I stood there for a couple of hours to no avail until finally it got dark, and obviously your chances of being picked up at night are slim to none. I decided to hike off into the woods and set up my tarp and sleeping bag. My plan was to sleep through the night, and in the morning I would walk back to the highway and try again. So there I go, flashlight in hand, walking into the brush off the highway. I've always had a hard time sleeping with trucks and big rigs, so I hiked maybe 250 meters into the bush off the highway so the sound would be reduced. I set my tarp up in an A-frame configuration between two trees. A tarp dropped over the tight line of a paracord and pinned down with tent pegs. This had been my go-to shelter for years. It was around 11 p.m., now pitch black. I didn't bother getting a fire going because I was exhausted from walking all day with my 30-pound backpack. I crawled into my sleeping bag and was out like a light. In the middle of the night, I was awoken to a tree branch crackling all around me, large branches. Whatever it was big, and I hear heavy panting and breathing. But the scary part is that it sounded like human breathing and very close, right outside of the tarp. I thought it may have been a bear, but in my mind, there was no way it was a human because I was in a pretty remote area and it was 3 a.m. Super unlikely it would be anyone deliberately trying to mess with me. And there were no cars parked at the roadside turnout parking lot earlier that night when I retreated into the woods. I'm positive no one saw me. I'm paralyzed with fear, lying perfectly still, holding my knife and my flashlight, which was off. Then, next thing I know, a huge log gets thrown and collapses my entire tarp on top of me. I start screaming as loud as I can and climbed out with my knife. I lit the flashlight, and whatever it was ran off into the brush. I never got a really good view of it, but all I could see was it was very tall. Then I looked at the log that had been thrown. I was in awe. It missed my head by inches and pinned my tarp to the dirt below. It was at least 8 feet long and maybe 10 inches in diameter. It would have killed me. I built a fire using whatever sticks were lying around the small clearing where I set my camp up. I kept looking in all directions with my flashlight. I was terrified. I figured if I had a fire, it might ward off whatever it was. At any rate, I had no intention of staying long. I took apart the shelter, rolled up the tarp, packed everything up because I was getting the hell out of here. It took some serious muscle to move the log off my tarp. Once I was packed up, I then walked back to the highway and waited until dawn before trying to catch a ride. I felt a lot safer. Whatever threw that log was no bear, and I know it was definitely not a human. I initially thought the log might have broken off from a dead tree above, but that was not the case. All the trees in my vicinity were alive and well. This was thrown. JD Detailing. My opinion on portals is they exist without a shadow of a doubt. And I think that, well, here, I'll tell you this quick story, JD. So, one of my favorite portal experiences or stories is there was a Ute Native American just outside of Skinwalker Ranch hunting one day. And he's sitting on this kind of mountainside. So he's sloped down, he's watching, he's got a good vantage of everything below him. When all of a sudden he sees this kind of blackness appear. Now, mind you, it's in the middle of the day. And it just appears and he can see into it, but it's still very black. And he doesn't know, what. All of a sudden, this very strange creature, a creature that doesn't resemble a dog, it doesn't resemble a man, it's very strange, drops out and runs off. Very, very crazy. What do you think the other DW says out there? They're creatures. I'm not sure if pareidolia, but all right. What, Jeff, do you think the others DW says are out there with these creatures a possibility? Carol, I don't know what you mean by that. I know there's other creatures out there, and I say it all the time. I know there's other things besides dogmen. There's other things besides Bigfoot and crawlers. I've had a Marine on the channel talk about having a experience with, and my brain just shut off completely. Oh my God, my brain just completely shut off. It was, I forget, but this very strange like creature. So there is a lot of different strange things out there. Libra, how are you, my dear? Good seeing you. You're an hour late. No, I'm just kidding. Unofficial ender. It's Jay. 5-hour cover up for my neighbor's wife. Wow. Carol, yeah, there's a state trooper that I know. He's not a state trooper. I'm always late to the party. You're always, there's no being late to the live stream. As long as you're here, you're never late. You know that. Todd Brown, have a good night, brother. Anyway, I am friends with a gentleman who Kuhnbo introduced me to. And he worked for the South Carolina State Police. He wasn't a state policeman. He worked for them. And he was talking about possible possession. Like if a demon can possess a human, why couldn't a demon possess a dog man or a Bigfoot? Very, very interesting. Yeah, Kuhnbo definitely knows his stuff. JD detailing. Usually blackish gray, brown. Maybe hints of red. Usually a blackish with gray. Jeff or anyone, do you think the Gable film? No, it was definitely a Bigfoot. Patterson or the Gable, yeah. No, I think the Gable film was I don't know. Maybe it was a dire wolf. The link you emailed me last week? Yeah, I emailed you back, Libra. I believe I emailed you back. Yeah, I'd love to have Kuhnbo back on. I've had him 3 times. And I really think that guys hit the like button. Come on, 279, only 145 people on the show. What is going on? Like me. Just kidding. Kuhnbo really needs to write a book. And I've said this multiple times to Kuhnbo because he's not very old, but he's getting old, and he has a lot of information. And I really think he needs to write a book because with all that information, it'd be amazing. Thank you, Rose. Thank you. Jeff, need your email. Ice Age, I'll put my email in the thing. Guys, really quick, I missed it's been taken down. Truth Quest, what has been taken down? What are you guys talking about? What video was taken down? Ice Age, I'm putting my email in the comment section right now. What video was taken down, guys? I missed something. If I go up too far, I kind of lose everything. So not far. All right. Has anyone seen the old video of the father and daughter playing by the creek? Massive wily coyote creeping up on them. No, I've never seen that one. Never. Libra. Does that answer your question? I don't know, Libra. If you're talking about the email that I think you're talking about, I don't know. Do me a favor, Libra. Email me again really quick, because I delete emails that I respond to, so I know which ones I've responded to, and let me know what email you're talking about, just so I can answer your question. I don't want to answer anything like and put my foot in my mouth. Jeff, one of my Class A instructors has a possible dog man. Virginia gave him a link to your channel. Sounded like a young dog man. I take my Donna. I'd love to hear it. Honestly. No cat busting. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Caden, I'm using a PC right now. I think people should watch videos on their PC rather than their phone so they can see more detail. Something happened to NVTV? Yeah, it's a turd. Like a friend of mine who is a amateur movie maker, and he made a Dogman video, and I shared it on the channel. He they keep putting it on there saying it's real, and he's reached out to them and said, "Hey, that's my amateur video that I made. It's not real." Oh, today. Yeah. Yeah, you read. Think about the exact everything I said in that, Libra, is I don't buy it. My DNA thing costs $700. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah. What's up, Travis? Won't let me post it. What are you trying to post, Rafe? The origin of Dogman? I do not know how to say that name, but Nattov. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the show. Guys, did I show you guys this? I know I did last week, but dude, it's so cool. I have my own shofar. I haven't learned how to play it yet, but this is what Kunbo used to call in Bigfoot. What's up, John? And it will work. Travis Carroll, no, I think they harnessed them to use them. When I blow it, nothing comes out. There's a certain way of blowing it, and I don't blow things very well. Joe Michaela, make a joke out of that one, girl. Or Libra. Like a saxophone, I imagine. That's what she said. Play it like a trumpet, like Louis Armstrong. What's up, you sexy MFer Nino? No, I'm not blowing. Don't worry about that, Rose. Upright cows are horrifying. Absolutely. Put your lips inside of the hole. Mark says, put your lips inside of the hole and let them vibrate while you exhale. I will. Oh, Lord. I love this live stream. I've tipped one cow. It's not something I like to admit. Hey, Jeff, I've been sending emails under I am not getting responses about your 3D sculptures. Rooster, they may be going to my spam. Can you try? Do you have a different email that you can try, or I'll check my spam later? Or try to email me now that I know to look for it in my spam section, because I don't recall seeing it. I just emailed you. I want to know if you can figure out what I saw. JD, I will look at your email after the thing so I can read it and look at it today, or not today. Look at it a little more longer. My fucking brain just shut off. I talk like a idiot sometimes. Nerd. Daniel Boone is a hot spot. Daniel Boone's National Forest. The video. Yes, exactly, Jay. And it was, Jesus, my brain just shut off too again. Oh, man. It's age. Yeah, it is. Dogmen move around the backwaters and stuff all over. Dogmen use water. I believe, Jeff, did you hear about the alien attack in Peru last week? I made a video about it, no cat bussin'. I made a video about it because after it went newsworthy worldwide, Peruvian government came and said it was illegal gold miners that did it, which I do not believe it was. Fucking A right, I did, Gravity. Total cover up. Just like our government, the Peruvian government learned from the US government how to cover shit up completely. Oh, Suji. Yeah, I do have one, and I don't know much about that channel. I know that he dresses his wife like a bar whore and fucking gets views with it. That's about all I know. I will, JD. Don't worry about that, brother. What? Wait a second. You need to get laid. Ha ha. Oh my goodness. No cap. If you email me, I'll tell you. I don't want to. It slipped out of my mind. I hate talking about other channels like that. I made the mistake of saying it. You know, Ral, Ral Ordo, you remember the Brazilian incident where, thank you, Rooster Venom. I appreciate that, brother. Remember the Brazilian dogman encounter? Ral asked about that. And there was the video of the news article where it showed the villagers were messed up really bad. I tried to post that on YouTube and it wouldn't let me. And then I tried to post it on Instagram and Instagram took it down immediately the second I put it up. So, and then if you look for it, you can't find it. It's like the news article is taken down. Hey, Joe or Janice, how are you? Do you think they could be strategically placed in Dogman to keep people out of the mountains in case martial law? Maybe. I know they use them to keep people in line, like to keep people out of certain places like the wilderness, but I don't believe I think they just roam. I mean, there's supposedly chipped ones and supposedly not chipped ones, and I only say supposedly because I believe Victor 100%, but I just say it like that because I've never seen one with a chip, but they do use them to keep people out of the woods, I do believe. So yeah. Thanks, JD. You have a good night. I'll read your email and get back to you, okay? Betty and Barney Hill's abduction. I believe it's 100% legit. During their abduction, during Barney and Betty Hill's abduction, who their granddaughter is a UFC fighter. During their abduction, there was a military base in Vermont that actually picked up UFO UFO sightings on their radar. Libra, I'm feeling better. I'm out of my depression 100%. And I did get an email, or not an email. I got a call from my doctor the beginning of the week and saying that I'm back in remission as of right now again. So I don't know what is going on. I know that I was getting shots and a booster and taking different medicine. So thank you, Libra. Depression is it's terrible. I hate depression. If anyone suffers from depression, I pray for them because it's just the worst thing. It's so fucking destructive, Like it had me at one point almost just deleting the channel. And I don't know why I thought about it, but it was like just very strange, Thank you, AOS Sketch. RC, don't be scared to start your meds, brother. Honestly, like meds help, to be honest. Yeah, Giant Slayer. I want to get in touch with him. And Destiny, yeah, I want to get in touch with him and have him on the show, hopefully. Thanks, Libra. Anybody who has depression, I pray for you guys. On YouTube, on a channel here. I'm trying to kill. Yeah, Kelly, that's sad. It's tragic. Like that guy, the guy with the shotgun last 2 years ago, he was depressed. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the CBD. All right, so here's another encounter. This happened this encounter happened from a Chickasaw Nation. Penny, thank you so much. It's pretty much done. I did an update on it in today's video. The book is done, but it's not exactly how I want it yet. With all these books that are getting put out lately, I just want it to be perfect. You know what I mean? And I want to go through it with Victor and make sure that it's exactly how it should be. And I've got I've got another book in the works and another one like ready to go, but I just don't want them to be like the fly by night, YouTube channel. I wrote a book, I want it to be something special, if you know what I mean. Absolutely. Pray for the people in Hawaii. Man, they're going through a living hell right now. It is tragic. Just check something real quick. All right. So this encounter happened in a Chickasaw Nation in South Central Oklahoma. There are unknown beasts not to be trifled with. They are terrifying and dangerous, but I am not positive that our encounter was with something like a skinwalker or something much more dangerous. The incident happened in South Central Oklahoma. MS, thank you so much. Happened in South Central Oklahoma in the Chickasaw Nation a few years back. I was working for this construction crew, and we had been hired to do some work on this cabin some rich guy wanted renovated. Simple enough work in that it's just some new interior walls with insulation, a new roof, and some solar panels for off-the-grid power. Other than being in the middle of literally nowhere, it was not difficult work. It was 2 weeks' work with solid pay, so it wasn't much of an issue for us. That came on the third day of work. One of the guys on the crew, Jay, was already there. That was odd on its own sense. He was always late, but what made this even odder was the way he was acting throughout the day. Then he just woke up and disappeared around lunchtime. Again, that itself is odd since he normally worked through lunch, so we didn't expect him to disappear. Me and another guy from the crew went off to find him while the rest got back to work. We went to the trucks and couldn't find him, and we were about to make our way to the shed when the buddy of mine said, "There's blood on the trail leading from the trucks to the forest." Obviously, we thought something had happened to him, so we followed it. It didn't take us long to find out what had happened. We found his body. From the looks of it, it had been there all night. B almost threw up from the smell. I was about to tell him to run back and get the others when I heard Jay call out to us. But there he was, lying dead in front of us. Then B screamed, and I saw why. Standing in front of us was some kind of twisted version of Jay. It didn't look right or not natural. It had his face, but it was pasty and flaky. There were horns on his head, and it had this open like smile showing fangs rather than human like teeth. It was horrifying. It just stood there staring at us, drooling. Neither of us are scared easily, but both B and I started running. In 15 minutes, we returned with the rest of the crew carrying our firearms we kept in our truck. The thing was still there, eating Jay. I was carrying one of the guns, as so was our boss. We both fired a few rounds at it, and the thing didn't flinch. Then the elder in our crew said something I couldn't quite make out before firing another shot. It was hit and went down before getting up, howling and screaming at us, running away on all fours. It was still wearing Jay's face. Jay had been torn to shreds, and his death was eventually ruled as an animal attack. But to this day, I wouldn't consider that thing being an animal. I later asked the elder what he said before taking the shot, and he refused to talk about it. We managed to complete the renovations without any more issues. Later, finding out the guy who owned the cabin later went missing. I never want to see that creature ever again. So, Jay must not have left. And the night before, whatever this thing was, I don't think it was a skinwalker, though, because it wasn't in Navajo land. But like someone said earlier, there are things out there that we can't even fathom, like, can you imagine? Like, you see your buddy, you're like, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? Why is he acting like this? And then all of a sudden he disappears. You go looking for him, and then there he is, dead. And then there's this fucking creature, and you're like, what the hell? I can't even, No, Joe, skinwalkers are Navajo, just Navajo. Shapeshifters, all Native Americans have their own version of a shapeshifter. But the word skinwalker, or Yenadalushi, which is translates to skinwalker, is just Navajo. Like the Ojibwe have the bear walker. But the term Yenadalushi, which translate from Navajo to English skinwalker, is just a Navajo lore. There are other shape-shifting creatures throughout all Native lore. 100%. Could be, Robert. Could be. Mark, that'd be a question we could ask him next live feed we do with him. Because I asked him, I said, would you ever be interested in doing another call-in, Victor? And he said, yes. So, hopefully we can. Holding a music concert on Skinwalker Ranch, LOL, Dogman Aliens, probably getting on the stage and start breakdancing. Oh my goodness. Libra poet. That would be cool though, wouldn't it? Travis, I do not. I just know some Iroquois and First Nation like Algonquin and Mohawk. But other than that, I need to start researching into that a little more, my friend. Good question, brother. Victor's good. I talked to him on Friday. Like I said earlier, you didn't catch it, Kelly, but I'm going to try to have him hopefully back on soon. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Someone said good night. Mark Fritz, have a good night, brother. Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely a crazy, crazy encounter. Nick Hendricks, I often wondered that myself because, like, let's say, see, here's the thing with a skinwalker, you have to be a Navajo as the tale goes, as the lore goes. So let's say you're a you're a Navajo shaman who practices black magic, right? And you are in you've already become a skinwalker. You've crossed over that line of evil. Um, would your power work off of native land? You know what I mean? Because uh, a lot of like shamans and practitioners of magic get a lot of their power from their surrounding land. So I wonder, like, let's say a native shaman, Navajo shaman, moved from Navajo reservation or land to Maine. Could he still use his magic? Absolutely, there's Cherokee in Alabama. 100% Cherokee in Alabama. They were part of the Trail of Tears. Difficult Pete. No, I have not faced public recourse. Nope. I mean, I get like crazy emails here and there, and other bullshit, but no, not from actually. Like the other day or about a month ago, I held the door for a guy. My daughter was with me. My oldest daughter was with me. I held the door for this guy, and he said, "Oh, thanks," and I, walked in the store and I got what I needed, and he heard me talking and he goes, "Jeff Nadolny?" And I turned around and he's like, "Holy shit, I watch your show every day." It was just such a crazy thing. Dogmen and werewolves in Long Island. I've had a couple of experiences shared with me, Mark Fritz, on one on Shelter Island, which is just off the coast of Long Island, and a couple on Long Island. Kelly Stacy, here's my view on the species of dogmen. Okay, so like I think there's Bigfoot, werewolves, which do not shapeshift. They are just a permanent being with a short muzzle, human-like legs, no tail. And then dogmen, which have a tail, hawked legs, um, may have a wolf face, may have a hyena face. But like, are there different species of human? You know what I mean? No. So I don't think there is. And Dogman UK Man answered for me. Well, thank you, Dogman UK Man, for. I haven't heard the one about Fire Island. That's pretty crazy. Dogman and werewolf can swim. Yes. Ray Fever. That's awesome. That is awesome. Possibly difficult Pete. I don't know, Dogman. Do they? Yeah, do it, Libra, please. I mean, I've heard, Dogman UK Man, I've heard of an encounter where a guy saw something that looked like a canine flying. You know what I mean? But like he said it resembled a canine, like and it was flying. It was bipedal, but it was flying. But would we call it a dogman at that point? Would it be something different? Like would that be considered a dogman, or like would it be classified like with the Mothman? You know what I mean? My Cherokee relatives stayed in an Ojibwe society. My Shawnee grandmother take over school. Adopted by a white family. Wow, that's crazy. Put the Carlisle Indian school. Holy shit, Suji. That's crazy. It is, it's a tragedy what we did to not what we, but what the Europeans did. Because I can't say we, because we who live here now have multiple cultures in us. But it's tragic what was done to the natives. Just if you ever watch what's that show? God dang, what's that show? 1883, I think, or I think it was that where the girl was in yes, it was where she was in the camps. They were almost like concentration camps for the Native Americans. It's tragic. It's just disgusting. Corey Cole, yeah, Yellowstone, but the 1883 has the historic account for the natives of that show. It was crazy. A really good show. I have family that live on the Aquasati Reservation in upstate New York. And I remember in 1994 when they closed the reservation off, the federal government closed the res off. There were Apache helicopters. I was actually there. I was visiting my cousin Andy, and there was Apache helicopters flying around the res. It was the most disgustingest thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. And it was all over cigarettes and alcohol. And in 1994, what the 95, I think 95. I don't know. I think it was 95, but it was I was young. One of my cousins actually got arrested on the St. Lawrence Seaway for smuggling cigarettes from Canada into the U.S. via snowmobile a long time ago. All right, here we go. Welcome to the Res, Russell Means. Suji, is that a book? Could be, Craven. Could be. Suji, Welcome to the Res by Russell Means. Was that a book? Jeff, I suspect Dogmen are super pumped with K9. Maybe. I've never heard of this Russell Means guy. Hang on a second. Sorry. Russell Means.
According to Britannica, Russell Means, born November 10th, 1939, Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, South Dakota, U.S., died October 22nd, 2012, Porcupine, Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, Native American rights activist of Oglala Lakota Sioux descent.
Okay, stop it. You're going to get me copyrighted. I'm going to have to check that book out. Jeff, I just wanted to say you're awesome. Absolutely. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Scottish ancestors. Betty, bye. Time. Good night, rockin' steady. Rockin' steady. John Trudeau is awesome. Is he still alive or did he pass away? I made Patty LaBelle mac and cheese out of her cookbook that was done good stuff. You made Patty LaBelle mac and cheese? That's awesome. Not squatching it. Pocahontas's grave. Pocahontas's grave is in Gravesend, Kent. Wait, Pocahontas is buried in United Kingdom, Libra? Man, you learn something new every day. I learned wow, that's crazy. Norman Comics, how are you? I made sushi for M. Night Shyamalan. Holy shit. Libra, would you take a picture of that for me and send me that sometime? I mean, not right away, but could you do that for me? I'd love to see that, please. Thank you, Libra. Hey, Sonia, how are you? Okay, it's fine. All right, here we go. Ugh. This happened in October of 2020 in Helena, Alabama, as I live near the border of the two towns, Pelham and Helena, and followed it into Helena and Pelham. I want to be as detailed as possible since my interaction with this thing was over an hour and a half. It's been bugging me for a long time. So, I am living with my girlfriend in Pelham, Alabama. We live together in a development. We were playing video games and relaxing around 1 a.m. Can't get exact dates and times if anyone is interested. Anyway, I go outside to smoke a cigarette and I hear a woman yell, "Someone help me!" As I live in a development, I think nothing of it. But it continues and I become curious as the yelling continues for 5 minutes. I become a little concerned, so I start to pay attention to it and believe the yelling is coming from across the main road near to my development in a small patch of woods. I'm thinking it's a fox, as they make an almost identical sound to a woman, but it continues to scream. I'm trying to make sure I'm hearing this right. Then it screams, "Please help!" and "Please, someone help!" This is clear, and I am sure now that it is not a fox. I approach closer and I think someone needs help, but the screams are moving away from me out of the small patch of forest. Next to the road, the street is about 50 yards to another development. I entered the development and I'm 90% sure this is someone's TV or someone has a Halloween decoration that's making the noise, but it's still bothering me. I'm now walking in the development, texting my girlfriend about what happened in case someone did need help. But it's probably nothing. I'm trying to follow the screaming as it continues almost 2 or 3 times a minute, always saying the same phrase, "Please help me, someone help." As I'm walking down the road, it seems more difficult to follow, and it seems to be coming from much further away. So I decided just to go home. If someone needed help, I thought, why would they be running so fast and covering such a distance? As I'm walking back to my house after 4 or 5 minutes, it starts up again, much more loudly. And now I'm having a better idea that it's coming from the large forest near the cell phone tower. I'm hearing the screams in the woods about 50 yards from me. I'm standing on the street, and as I'm listening to this, I notice that it's moving quickly parallel to me. It moves 50 yards to my right, stops, then screams, "Help me!" then runs about another 50 yards to my left. I'm baffled that anyone could move so quickly. It only stopped to speak and run again. This didn't make sense to me. I wasn't sure if I should enter the forest and try and help this person, but I still couldn't see it, almost as if it was crawling. As I saw the bushes moving and hear the twigs snapping along with the screaming. Then it screamed a different phrase over and over. It screamed, "Why aren't you helping me?" It did this rapidly for 2 minutes. Then it made a different noise. It started making this very low, grunting, growling noise, and I became afraid. I couldn't rationalize this. I'm hearing a woman scream in this low, grunting, growling noise over and over. I realize this is not my imagination and that it's insane. I then realize how far I am from my house and how long this has been going on for. I thought that this thing wants me to come into the forest. It isn't running back and forth at 50-yard distance anymore. It's almost running back and forth 20 yards and very close to me. It refuses to leave the woods but wants me to come in. The grunting becomes more frequent along with its movements, running faster and faster back and forth. I think I saw some like human thing crawling on the ground, pale white. It's hard to tell, and it was moving fast. I'm also scared because the grunting was terrifying. I stopped and decided to call 911. I know whatever this thing was not friendly. I never heard of this happening. I tell the 911 operator where I am and that there is a woman screaming. Once the police show up, it stops. The police found no trace of anything. I was very terrified. I still am to go outside at night. I never believed something like this would happen or could exist. It's messing with my head. Do you guys remember that video? They said it was like where they said Skinwalker and there was that guy in the field and it was screaming, "Help me, help me." Do you guys remember that video? Yeah, right? That video reminded me of it. Or that story reminded me of it. So is the channel glitching right now? I saw 2 people say it's glitching. A bit, yes. Nope, it's fine. All right. It was glitching it's not anymore though, right? Okay. I don't know. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. Someone asked for a talking dogman or werewolf experience. So I've got one that stuck with me forever. And it was when I first started the channel. Those of you guys who have been with the channel for 4 years or more, because I started in 2018. My first video was in March of 2017, actually, but it was like stupid stuff. Because I didn't know really what I was doing and what I wanted to do. But I got this experience sent to me from a woman, and it was nighttime, and she had her 2 cars, Manchester, Vermont, right about. I know right where Bennington is. I was out I actually was picked my daughter up in Granville today, Mark Fritz, and I was thinking about going to Manchester today. Actually, that's crazy. Would you send me your experience, Mark Fritz? Anyway, really quick, back to what I was saying. So there was this woman. She had her 2 kids in the car. She parks. It's dark out, and she decides that she's gonna go to her house. She puts the key in. She's got 1 kid with her, and she hears this, "I'm gonna get you something," and sees a dog man off to the side. I don't remember exactly how it went, but it said something. She frantically unlocks the door, and I believe she went and grabbed both the kids at the same time and ran in. Um, it was an unbelievable story. Mark Fritz, I'll put my email in the comment section right now for you. There you go. It's right above you saying, "Okay, thanks." Let me know if you see it. Jeff, do you think we could ever have a group meet up and hang out over the weekend, maybe camp, etc. in the future? I'd be willing to fly in. Also, live call-ins. Live call-ins very soon. Camping, sure. And Libra did write me a poem. What's that joke that about camping? Oh, 2 guys go camping. One guy says to his buddy, "Hey, if you woke up with your pants down and Vaseline on your butt, would you tell anyone?" And the guy says, "No." And he says, "You want to go camping?" Silver Fox, maybe, could be. Could be. Yeah, Sonia, Kyle does have that video. I'm not really sure if it's that. I'm not sure if it's real or not. I've seen it quite a few times. Kyle's a good guy. I like Kyle a lot. Caden Zero. There was a fox-like dog man reported by 2 different people outside of Buchanan, Virginia. Suji, he is and he isn't. He's serious about sharing like videos. I just don't think the research is there. I think he shares the videos and just kind of hears like, he sees a video, he's like, "Oh, that's a cool video. I want to share it with my audience." And then hears the story, but doesn't check into the story. You know what I mean? Guys, is my channel messing up? Is the live stream messing up that bad? No. 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 Spirit level. It's good now. It only glitched for a little bit, right? Okay. Spirit level, I would try to reset your whatever you're watching on. Honestly, I don't know. I only probably glitched for a minute because I have I'm looking at my internet right now and it's great. Rose has got me on her phone and TV, but her phone is glitching, so it might be. I got 40 acres of woods. You want to go camping? As long as I don't wake up with Vaseline in my ass, AOS. Maybe. The book Russell means is called Where White Men Fear to Tread. Okay, thank you, Suji. Thank you. All right, good, spirit level. Are dogmen just or offshoots of their breed? Philo, I don't think they have. I think that they're like a cinephile like that. I don't know if there's any kind of offshoot. That's honestly what you just asked, Philo, is all theory or conjecture. I don't think anybody really knows that 100%. You ever run backwards through a cornfield? No, I have not. UG or OG hash. Have you? If I go camping, I'll have to take mass. So, oh my goodness. Libra, I was just going to ask if we were sharing a tent. Buddy, come here, buddy. Buddy's coming in. Come on, bud. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, buddy. Oh. Buddy. Buddy knocked at the door and freaking. Buddy, say hi to everybody. What are you doing, huh? Hang on. Look, say hi. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Good boy. Good boy, huh? Yeah. There he is. There's a good boy. Trying to find a thing to raise the seat up. Oh, we're going to sit down, huh? We're going to sit down? What are we doing? Huh? Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Hi, buddy. Astroglide. Oh, shit. You're a good boy. He's such an attention whore. He really is. You're a good boy, huh? I have an African serval. Wow, really, Randall? That's awesome. I hope that my buddy never passes away, but if he does, that's probably what my next cat would be. Thanks, Sanhoff. Like, he is my best friend in the whole world. Mwah. Oh, buddy. Yeah. Wouldn't it be funny if he just like I kissed him and he turned around and fucked me up? That'd be so funny. He just turns around, bites me in my face, and starts clawing me in my eyes. Fucking asshole. Huh. Yeah. Good boy. Good night, Terry. It was nice having you with us. All right. Let's see what I got here. What, buddy? What? Don't bite my arm, you fucking cunt. Here we go. All right, get down. Ben, he's actually attacked me many times, to be honest with you. One time I was one time I was using the bathroom downstairs and he was sleeping on the couch. I don't think he knew I don't think he knew I was in there. And I walked in, I'm peeing, right? And I think he's coming to rub on my leg, and all of a sudden he just goes bop on my leg and starts biting me. I was like, what the hell, buddy? I threw a garbage can at him. Good night, Brian. Have a good night. Thank you for joining us, brother. The truth is in the background. Hey, Jeff. Nice to be here. Nice to have you here, Truth. Thank you. Oh, Kelly, these were not love bites. These were terrible, bloody. it was terrible, man. I was like, what? One night, he's attacked me probably 5 different times. One night he attacked Belle. Belle was sleeping. This is like years ago, though. Belle is sleeping, and he just comes up and jumps on her and puts his claws in her head and starts biting her head. He's an asshole, but he's my best friend. OG, he's always waiting. He's biding his time next time, so it'll get me good. Jeff, Joe said she has 5 acres of land. Is Maine? She's in Maine. Maine, actually, my family has a house up in Maine, so yeah, it'd be fun to go up there. And Joe, Jesus, now she's talking about paddles, whips, and handcuffs. We're staying away from Joe's house. Maybe not. I don't know. I know exactly what you mean. It is. It's like Anastasia. It's like a tiger stalking you. Hey, Kevin, how are you? All right, I got to really create. No, we're not. Right on, Andy. I hear you. That's why I said no, we're not. I'd love to go to Scotland, too. All right, so this next encounter is really interesting. And when I found it, I thought of you guys immediately. I'm just smiling at Robert Sharp's comment real quick. Okay. This happened back in the mid to late 70s in my hometown of southwestern Pennsylvania. I was maybe 10 years old at the time. It was a warm summer day. My mom was taking my brother, who was 2 or 3 at the time, and me to town to do some shopping. I was sitting in the front passenger seat, and my brother was in the car seat in the back. We had the windows down in the car, as did most cars not have AC at the time. It was a rather expensive option. We were sitting at a red light in the center of town when a car pulled up to the lane next to us. As I recall, it was an upscale type of car at the time, along the lines of a Lincoln. As we were waiting for the light to change, I remember looking over to the car next to us. The car had its windows down as well, and it had a sunroof, which also was an expensive option at the time. That was open too. So I had a clear view into the car. Anyway, I just happened to look over into the car that had pulled up next to us, and what I saw was a woman that was driving and appeared totally normal to me. She had a child with her who was in the back seat, leaning over the back of the front seat, nuzzling the woman that was driving like a pet would. And the woman was stroking the child's face. The child appeared to be maybe 4 years old, dressed age appropriate, except the child's face or head did not look normal. What I observed was something that looked, what I know now was a reptilian. The face and head were shaped differently than a normal human child's head. I remember that the skin appeared to be a light green in color, with some sort of small comb structure that ran from the front to back of its head in the middle of its scalp. Thinking back, it reminds me of the drawings you see of reptilians. I didn't look for very long because I was kind of freaked out at what I had just seen. I didn't want to stare out of fear of being caught. My mom never saw, what I did as she was concentrating on traffic. I almost said something, but the light changed and the car accelerated ahead of us, and we never got close again. As I said, the whole thing freaked me out. I spent days afterward trying to rationalize what I had seen. Having picked up paranormal research as a hobby several years ago, and knowing that reptilians have the ability to appear something else to humans, I now believe what I saw that day was a reptilian juvenile, and the mother, only the juvenile, had not quite developed the ability to mask themselves. Randall Kennedy, that would be awesome. Kurt, how are you? Yeah. I think everybody was focused on Joe's story more than my experience. Now, speaking of that, do you guys here's something I want to ask you. Do you guys ever recall yeah, I did miss it. Do you guys ever recall so this kid, this guy, this adult now, right? Recalls seeing something at a very young age. Has that ever happened to any of you guys? Have you guys remembered something freaky that happened and was that real? Did that really happen to me? Kind of like a repressed memory, but it really did happen, kind of, Yeah. Because I remember when I was a kid and I shared this experience, but it took a long time for me to remember the exact details of, my mom and dad. I was young and our old house had it wasn't a circle. The inside wasn't a circle, but you could go around the entire house. And the basement was at one side, the attic was at the other. And the bathroom was across the hall from the attic door. And one day I had knocked on the attic door, and the locks that kind of are they're you pull them back and then put them up and then put them like that. But that was up high on the door, so I couldn't reach it. And that was locked. And I remember it being locked. Well, we were going apple picking, and I remember knocking at the door. And for some reason, I don't know why I knocked, but something knocked back, right? And I was like, what the hell was that? And I didn't tell my mom or dad. And a barrel bowl, okay. And I didn't tell my mom or dad because it freaked me out. So we went apple picking, and the next day my dad worked shift work, and I must have forgotten about it, right? Because the next day my dad worked shift work. My mom took me to Toys R Us, got me some new GI Joe stuff, and I think we got subs or something. We came home and I was all excited to play. I remember the toy I got. Actually, I got the GI Joe moccasin boat with Copperhead was the kid. And my dad didn't unlock it. My mom didn't unlock it. And my uncle, who was a police officer, sergeant of the police department in my hometown, ended up coming over and looking. And it was the craziest thing to ever have happen. And I think it was like a paranormal. Randall Kennedy, I can't wait. Yes, that's with this Dogman thing. I was blown away by it. Pushed it out of my memory being 5 years old. Yeah, Glades, exactly. Sherman Lane, I think there are fallen angels. I 100% believe in fallen angels. Only strange memory as of living in Miamisburg, Ohio. Lived in a neighborhood on a hill with a small playground. I've had a lot of paranormal. That's crazy, MS. That's what I believed in, the paranormal all my life. It's just been something that was just with me. And then I had my Dogman encounter, and it was crazy. Caden Copperhead, awesome. Caden knows exactly what toy I was talking about. Randall, I can't wait, to be honest. A few years ago, I remember a UFO approached me very slowly. Those angels walk among us. Absolutely, Dale. Mark Fritz agreed, 100%. Absolutely nuts. Any other way to reach out to you, Jeff? Philo, just email, brother. I don't use Facebook. Do you need my email address, Philo? Does anyone experience this? When I walk around my house, especially landing and stairs, I literally see shapes. Sometimes I feel like going to bump. Wow, Libra, that's crazy. Okay, I had something like that happen. I was on a landing, um, and I was young. I was like 14, 15, but I was coming down the stairs and I hit the landing, and we had a German Shepherd at the time when I was younger, and I thought she was lying in the chair down at the bottom of the stairs, and she was growling at me, and I screamed for my mom. I'm like, "Mom, mom." But she wasn't there. The dog wasn't there. It was just the second I touched my foot on the landing, I looked at the chair, and then my mom turned the light on and it was gone. Could have been, actually, absolutely could have been a shadow, but it'd be a shadow dog. This was nuts, guys. Like I was walking down the stairs because our house, my grandfather built the house my parents live in, and he didn't finish the upstairs bathroom, and I had to go to the bathroom, so I like literally hit. So the stairs came down like this, and there was a landing, and then it went this way, and I hit the landing, and I looked, and the dog always laid in that chair anyway. But the second I hit the landing, I saw her and she was growling at me. But it really wasn't her because my mom, I fucking screaming. I'm like, Mom, Mom. And she turned the light on and the dog was with my mom coming out of my mom's room. And I was like, it was so weird. And trees and different surfaces. That's crazy, Mark. Joe, I've heard like that, like spirits mess with the water to let you know that they're there. Selling the new AI Bible. Dale, what do you mean by that? My dad plays with the lights. I don't know if it was a ghost dog or not. The thing looked exactly like my dog, like spitting image. And I was always afraid of her because she had bit me once. She had bit me in the side of my eye right here when I was young because I startled her while she was eating. So I always had like this fear of her. So maybe it was like a shadow person and it knew that I was afraid of my dog and just. Oh, wow, Dale, that's crazy. Good night, TW. Maybe a demon, maybe. There's a guy selling them. Okay. Can you pick one of those up, Dale, to see if there's a difference in? She came in a porcelain doll. I've heard that. Like, Jane, have a good night. Love you. Jane, the channel's godmom, crashing out. And yes, Jane, I did see your comment. We got to have you back on to share your Bigfoot encounter because it's so cool. It is cool. When I'm salty when you go on Saturday Night Live. That's funny. I'm sorry, Philo. Yeah, mirrors are freaky. They're yeah. Has anybody ever sat in a room with a mirror in front of you and behind you and stared at it? Rose Holt, have a great night. Thank you for visiting with us tonight. You're not supposed to do that. Absolutely, Howard. But it's a way of. I've done it. And if you do it in a dark room, I forget the exact word and name for it is. But you're supposedly supposed to see something. It is kind of like a looking portal, but there's another name for it. Pearl Green, thank you so much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Robert Sharp, have a good night. Thank you for visiting with us, brother. Why has there never been a pregnant Barbie? That's a good question. My daughter Isabel's probably watching, and she's probably asking that question now too. Yes, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Psychomantium. That's what it is. Did you guys see the I don't know if you guys are on my TikTok or whatever, or not TikTok, Instagram. And I posted the video of me and Belle when we were at the Conjuring house and we actually caught the crooked neck lady in the crooked neck lady's room. We were using first we went down there, we had my EMF reader and we were in that room. And then we used the SLS camera and we literally caught one stick figure on one side of the room and then we caught another on the other. No, you were on the gram. Cool. Didn't know you were on the gram. Cool. What's that mean, Libra? Monty, I'm glad you're here, brother. I really am. Oh yeah, sorry. I just started. I barely use it, and then I checked my Instagram the other day, and I've got like 1,000 followers, and I'm like, what the hell? Pearl Green, thank you for visiting with us, and thank you for blessing me with that. I do appreciate it so much. Leave it to Xbox. Exactly, Howard Parker. Exactly. Thank you, Randall. On the gram. Wow, that's crazy, Shal. SLS cameras are so cool. You can catch so much. I did a paranormal. There's a couple videos on the channel where I did a paranormal investigation in the house. Colleen, what did it look like? One looked like an actual stick figure, right? One looked like the hangman stick figure. The other one was completely twisted and deformed, and that was the crooked neck lady. A psychomantium, Mark Fritz, is when you put a mirror in front of another mirror, so you're sitting in between them and you're staring into it. And it's a paranormal, it's a way of communicating with the paranormal, with like spirits, supposedly. No, I've never been to Turkey, and I'm not big on belly dancing. Nope. You have a wombat under your house, spirit level? That's crazy, Sandhoff. That's awesome. I love old mirrors. What did you see when you did it? Darkness, complete darkness. And there was a light on, actually. No, Philo, I don't. Nope, I don't. I've got like crosses in my house, but I don't. Probably Libra. I'd probably do more than melt, actually. It's been a little while now. Monty, I'm glad that I was there. I'm glad that I could be there for you. I'm sorry I didn't know that you were hospitalized prior. Yeah, Kelly, absolutely. The mirrors are portals. My channel, my YouTube channel's name. Sonia. Oh, okay. So you use the SLS cam on your phone, Shell? I'd love to see the Bela Lugosi mirror. Absolutely, Anastasia. Philo, I have not gotten your email. I've not received an email from you. There's been times that I don't get emails from people for some reason, or I've had people tell me that they've tried to email me and they tell me that my email is no good. And then eventually they're able to send it to me, but I don't ignore emails. I honestly like answer them and be like, I can't talk at this point. I'm fucking at one point when I was depressed, I was like, I can't talk. I can't do anything. I'm an idiot. Nicola, I didn't answer yours. I know I answered yours. I'm pretty sure I did answer yours, brother. I got a lot right now. I got one from Randall. I got one from Rafe. I got one from JD. I got one from Jeff. Josh, Ice Age. So I got a couple now. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about like the phone apps. I mean, I know the real SLS cam works like a charm. Mark Fritz, have a good night, brother. RH, yes, I would. Thank you, Sandhoff. That's what I thought, Dogman. You came in. I do have a lot of paranormal stuff. Like I've got the SLS cam, the EMF reader. I've got an Ovulus. I've got a shitload of stuff, man. I used it all in that video when me and Belle went to the Conjuring house. It was crazy. And I've got a picture of me with the real Annabelle doll too. I'll have to post that. Actually, I'll post that. Welcome to my everyday. Hellhound or Dogman? Dogman, you came in. It's last September I posted it. And then me and Isabel went to the Warren Museum and we got to see all of the Warrens, Ed and Lorraine Warrens stuff, like the real Annabelle doll, the satanic idol that was behind Sandy Hook, the dinosaur from England, from the haunting in England. That was a lot of crazy shit there. It was unbelievable. Randall Kennedy, I've used my recorders many times. Yeah, I actually brought it to where Tom Mezek disappeared. What's up, Erwin? How are you? Monty, I've been saying hi to you this whole time. Has anyone else heard me say hello to Monty like a bunch of times? Monty just said, someone tell Jeff Monty is here. What the hell? That's so funny, man. He's like, someone tell Jeff Monty's here. He just said, I said he had a heart attack. I think he might be having a little issue. Monty, are you okay, brother? No, I'd love to go to the Winchester house. The Winchester house would be great. I would love to just fucking chill in there. After my dad died, the stereo turned on. Damn, that's scary, Shell. That's a way of him saying, hey, I'm here with you. Everything's going to be okay. T. Neal, where's T. Neal? No, T. Neal isn't here. I haven't seen T. Neal in a while. Jamie, how are you? Definitely, Libra. Definitely. And definitely appreciated. 100%. Monty, so you got that scar right here with the three holes under the scar. What do you think about the new witness? Ben Dean, are you talking about the guy who Roger? Well, there's lots of stories on the LBL. And that Roger guy, the reason why I made that video about where I pulled up that I was from New York and stuff was because he said that I lied about being Jeff Nadolny and being this and that, and made a whole bunch of slanderous comments about me. And if he's willing to lie about stuff like that, I think he's willing to lie about his encounters. Yeah, I don't believe him. No, not you, Roger. Maybe Libra. I'm not sure. Well, I actually had a subscriber reach out to me and say, Jeff, he made this video about you. And I was like, what? And so I listened, and he said, no one's ever seen my face. I'm not from New York, and I'm a criminal. So I literally went to the police station. I pulled up a record that has a driving infraction, showed my ID. Obviously, you guys have seen my face 100,000 times. And just because I said I didn't buy his story, he pretty much made a criminal case against him. But I forgave him, and it's just no here nor there, you know. Thank you, Craig. 50 camping mofos versus 12 dogmen. Philo, I would have to say the 12 dogmen. Defamation of character, which is a civil and criminal act. Jamie, 100%, brother. 100%. I had thyroid cancer. Really, Joe? That's freaking crazy. I'm glad you're okay, though. Spirit level, I really can't do all my videos live because then nobody would, you know what I mean? It'd be too hard to do them. I think that doing the live stream once a week, people like them better because it's like then we can all just hang out. You know what I mean? Jeff, these dogmen could rip the door off the house in seconds. That's what they did to Luke, Libra. That's exactly what they did to Luke. Still think Walmart Karens would win over Dogman. If it was 6 Walmart Karens versus 3 Dogmen, yes. But if it was 6 and 6, I think the Walmart Karens would be screwed. That's what it would be. It would be Mortal Kombat. $2,000 cowards versus 20 dogmen. 20 dogmen. Last time I heard from Luke was about 3 months ago. Absolutely, Truth Quest. Do not. In New York State is the worst state to live in right now, and they are trying to take mine every day. They're passing laws. Philo, I made a statement. You weren't here earlier, but Victor, I talked to Victor Friday. Sounds like a plan, Simon. Sounds like a plan. Exactly, Truth Quest. Illegal laws. No. He's actually, we're trying to make a plan where he can come to upstate New York and go to the Bigfoot Festival with me in Whitehall, New York. Or are we talking like Wendigo? Wendigo is bee sloth, like werewolf. What are you talking about? Because discovered them yesterday from a video of a dog doing tricks. Those are stupid videos on TikTok. They're not. It's not a Wendigo. It's not a skinwalker, and it's not a werewolf. Those are TikTok people trying to make themselves famous. Me too, Jamie. Me too. I think we are in a world of hurt if we wake up one morning and there's a bunch of fucking UFOs in the sky. We are in a world of hurt because our government and the rest of the world's government isn't going to know how to handle it. It's going to be a shit show. Yeah, they're already here, but I'm just saying when we wake up and there is, you know, the V series, the remake, yeah, I mean, the 1980s, that was, in my eyes, a soft disclosure. Absolutely. All right, guys, we're about 2 hours and 40 minutes into this thing. I want to thank you all for joining me this week. It's been a pleasure. I love hanging out with you guys. I can't wait till next week already. But it's getting late and I got to crash because it's 2:40 and I've been up for 22 hours now. With that being said, Philo, try to email me again, please. Absolutely. I had a blast hanging out with all of you guys. It's been a lot of fun. Rafe Beaver, I got your email. I did let you know that in here. Thank you so much for being here with me, guys. And it really does mean the world to me. You guys are what makes this channel special. I can't thank you enough. So Andy, I'm going to get a PO box through UPS this week. I'm going to go in and pay for it this week. I called today to see how much it was because I saw your comment about it earlier today in a video, I think. And I think the UPS store has cheaper prices on PO boxes. So with that being said, guys, thank you again. I got a fucking headache right now. My head feels like I'm gonna have one of those chest poppers popping out of my head because I'm so tired. Be safe. Glades Creature, email me. I want to hear your encounter. Thank you for joining us too. Joe, thank you. I probably haven't drinking enough water, actually. Libra Poet, have a good night. Nino, you sexy MFer, have a good night. Sonia, I love all of you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you once again for being here. We're family, right? Love you guys.